It certainly appears that it's a two-tiered system, and it's in favor of one political leaning over the other. That rot, it is at the headquarters level. It is at the top. I would estimate probably 20% of the agency, the senior executive staff level, and honestly, it's probably not even all of them, just a lion's share of them who have really distorted and twisted the agency.
Wow, those are big numbers. That was FBI Special Agent and whistleblower Garrett O'Boyle with me yesterday here on this program on the FBI's mishandling of these investigations with a political bent. This as we learned that the FBI is refusing to turn over the whistleblower document tying then Vice President Joe Biden to a criminal bribery scheme, according to the House Oversight Committee chairman. That document says it all, but they won't hand it over. Joining me right now is former Acting U.S. Attorney General Matt Whitaker. Good to see you, Matt. Thanks very much for being here. So what can the House Oversight Committee do, the Republicans, to get this document? The FBI will not release it, and James Comer says there's serious evidence in that document. It's unclassified.
Correct, and it's good to be with you this morning. I think they need to go further. They need to demand it. And I saw Jim Jordan on your show on Sunday, and his point is tying their funding, the FBI's funding, to their cooperation with Congress's oversight responsibilities. And this document's important for a couple reasons. First of all, it does outline a potential bribery scheme involving Vice President at the time, Joe Biden. But more importantly, it goes to the broader question of the Biden family and their ties to both China and other international organizations. But, here's the real question. The FBI claims it's unverified and therefore Congress can't be trusted with unverified information. Why didn't they investigate this claim? I think that's the bigger question. We know what the claim is, but, they went obviously very far with the Trump Russian collusion and trying to verify that. And now they're telling us that they didn't spend any investigative resources taking this whistleblower complaint and ultimately not running it to ground. I think that's even more concerning, and it shows that bias in that two-tiered system of justice, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredibly concerning and quite disturbing. And I know that Kevin McCarthy raised that issue with Christopher Wray last week when he had a phone call with him. I spoke with the Speaker of the House after that phone call on Sunday. Here's what he told me. Watch.
I want to be very clear with the FBI director that Congress has a right and we have the jurisdiction to oversee the FBI. This is one piece of paper that a chairman of a committee has requested to see. He hasn't even acknowledged whether he has this document, but he hasn't even provided it. I explained to the director that we will do everything in our power, and we have the jurisdiction over the FBI, that we have the right to see this document.
So, AG, you know about this jurisdiction. You know about what the Republicans can and cannot do. The FBI is pushing back. They won't release the document. There's a subpoena for the document. I know Jim Jordan is talking about using the appropriations process, but can they force the FBI to release this document?
Yeah, ultimately, Congress's oversight power has been upheld in the courts. It is certainly part of the contemplated system of separation of powers. Congress, because of its power of the purse, really has broad authority for oversight. And, there's an accommodation process. I know this very well because we had to deal with it many times when I was at the Department of Justice. But ultimately, Congress will be able to get access to what they want from the executive branch, especially since it's not part of an ongoing investigation.
Right. And they're just trying to slow walk it, I guess, which is very much their M.O. Meanwhile, a second IRS whistleblower is looking into Hunter Biden's finances. He came forward after the team was dismantled and dismissed, despite spending 5 years working on the case. The whistleblower, who worked on the probe since 2016, or 2018, rather, told several senior IRS officials in an email on Thursday, quote, the lack of IRS criminal investigation, senior leadership involvement in this investigation is deeply troubling and unacceptable, rather than recognizing the need to ensure close engagement and full support of the investigatory team in this extraordinarily sensitive case. The response too often had been that we were isolated. Matt, your thoughts here. Obviously, the FBI has been sitting on the Biden laptop, which was rich with information, since 2018.
Yeah, and by all reports, the strongest part of this case are the criminal tax charges. And so if you don't have IRS CID agents working a case, or you take them off the case, that obviously hamstrings the investigation. And we're seeing these decisions being made from very high up at the Department of Justice. It's been reporting that even Merrick Garland has taken a keen interest to this Hunter Biden investigation. And so the fact that there, by all accounts, this interference in this investigation, this slowing down of the investigation, trying to run it past any statute of limitations bar, I think is very concerning for sure, Maria. And this should not be accepted.
So isn't Merrick Garland on the hook for this? Could he get impeached, or will they do nothing?
Yeah, I mean, I think we need to get to the bottom of this, because if they are the ones that are calling the shots from main justice and taking resources away from this investigation, that ultimately, would lead to indictment, it's really concerning, and we have to get to the bottom of it.
It sure is. Matt, thanks very much for weighing in. Matt Whitaker.